Hey, Scorpio, intuitive soul coach here with your March 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Scorpio, your key themes for the month of March, you have new life and strength, followed by adventure. Powerful trio here because a lot of you, there is a second chance. This is what you've been working on undercover. Okay, undercover. So typically bottom of the deck is subconscious energy. It can be what's hidden. It can be messages from your guides as well, but they gave me undercover. Maybe that plays into this hermit energy. So what you've been working on is a second chance here. Maybe that's the new life. This could be working on an undercover project. Perhaps it's working undercover on your own healing, your own self-development. This can be a second chance for those of you who have been going through a difficult time in some area of your life where you are ready for a fresh start. And March is the perfect month for new beginnings as we enter the astrological new year, the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. So I do feel here undercover you're working on rebuilding, okay? Maybe rebuilding your life after some sort of judgment call was made, because we have a few major arcana showing up here, Scorpio, and this is big energy. Now you have self-love. This is what's on the bottom of the deck as well. So subconsciously, what you're working on, yet undercover, flexibility, doing a lot of deep introspection, right? Resting. There is something here with acceptance or accepting of the past, letting go of regrets, letting go of situations that caused a lot of stress or a lot of imbalance in your life. This is also about healing and going within. So I like where you're at because this gives us a focal point here, second chance and new life. We see it coming to the surface. So whatever you've been working on, March could just be the month where you see big changes in your outer world. This is transformation. This is going on a new journey. For some of you, you could even be traveling. Maybe you're going towards some sort of adventure. Okay, this is exciting times ahead, new opportunities, maybe even world travel. If this is career-wise, you could be reaching people on a global level. You may even be going on a spiritual quest, which is my Eight of Cups card, and you actually have the Eight of Cups. Okay, it's going on some sort of a spiritual quest towards maybe a solo venture. Some of you could even be solo traveling. And you have the Strength card. So when the Strength card shows up, this means that you haven't always had the easiest path, Scorpio. Things haven't been handed to you. You've had to work for them, right? You're stronger than you think. This is about perseverance, overcoming obstacles, and reclaiming your power. Now, the Strength is strong Leo energy about self-discipline. I feel like you may have tended to sabotage in the past, self-sabotage through any form that we tend to sabotage, right? It could be limiting behaviors. It could be toxic patterns. It can be staying in situations that are past the expiration date. It could be low self-worth. Whatever it is here for you, you've had to come out of it fighting is what I get here, but you are overcoming it. Some of you, this is a major health concern or issue that you've overcame, or you're still working on bringing balance or bringing a second chance to your life here. You're going to persevere. You're stronger than you think you are. And I feel like it's almost as if a fresh start is opening up for you. Some of you could be moving. There could be a shift, a major transition when it comes to relationships here, or a job. I mean, with three major arcanas, no wonder you have new life and second chance and strength, because when we get so many big milestones in our lives that come at us all at once, it can really show us what we're made of here, Scorpio. But I sense that your focus now is on this new beginning. Your focus now is on exciting times ahead and travel and quest and discovery and exploration. So let's dive in here to the tarot. Now you have these three major arcanas. Well, we'll start with the two. You have the Hermit, Solitude, excuse me, and you also have the Judgment card, Liberation. You're freeing yourself from your past, basically. And this isn't always easy to do, because when that judgment shows up, Scorpio energy, this is you changing your life. Do you want to change it for the better? Can you take a look at what's no longer working, right? Is this on par with your calling? Are your beliefs and your actions aligning? Is your physical world a representation of your internal world? And a lot of you, in order to kind of come back to you, you had to do some major reassessing. This is evaluating. The judgment is a spiritual awakening that literally opens the door to doing things in a different way, right? This is the card of second chances as well. So Scorpio, I get here with this judgment partnered with the Hermit. You may have been in a solitude or single energy for quite some time. Even if you are in a relationship, even when you're around a lot of people, it doesn't mean that you have to physically be single, but I do get a sense of isolation, because you may have even been judging yourself, or you may have been working on healing the wounds of the past. And I feel like you are now crossing the threshold. There's a rite of passage here. There's a rebirth that you've had to go through, which leads to that death energy, right? And look what we see as your third major arcana. Transitioning. We all start from that baby stage, right? We all are born, we all die. But death isn't to be feared, because energy cannot be destroyed. It can be transmuted, right? And that's what you're doing here. So even if you feel like all has been lost, this is about taking what you have learned and transmuting it into something better. For a lot of you, this is something better, right? It is something that is quite powerful. You have the 12 energy Voyagers. So this would be, let's see, Cups. This would be the Knight of Cups. This is a brand new deck. I'm still getting used to it. And he is going off on a voyage. You can see that there's a guy in a kayak here, and he's underneath the stars, and he's going off on a journey. So I feel like a lot of you may have even shut down after some sort of experience that's happened, or maybe you just got used to kind of being by yourself for quite some time, where now there's a new beginning. You're like, I've been doing that for 5 years, for 10 years. I kind of want to see what else is out there. I kind of want to maybe even pass another ship in the night. I may even want to get off the kayak here and maybe board a cruise ship. Or maybe I want to go on a paddleboard, or maybe I want to, head towards land. So I feel like you have opportunities here. It's like the stars are showing you that the sky is limitless, that the opportunities are limitless here for you. When the Knight of Cups shows up, this is about you following your heart. I sense that some of you could even be going on some sort of a romantic trip. Excuse me. This could be a trip. If you are in some sort of connection, you could be going on a very romantic trip with someone here. But I also see, we have 2 cards of travel, 2 cards of voyage, going towards something. So you could be heading towards someone, meeting someone after a time of separation, or maybe you just need to kind of separate from everyone, everything, and just go your own way. We have 2 Cups energy, and the 8 of Cups is showing up as, some sort of transition or journey to the 9 of Cups. But it does require us to separate our energy from something that maybe at one point our heart was very much invested in. I also get with this 8 of Cups energy, you are wanting something deeper. You're wanting something more meaningful, whether this is a job, whether this is a relationship, whether it's a stronger, deeper connection to your own self. That can be that Hermit. And the judgment horn is blowing here for you to pay attention. The Judgment energy also has the angel wings. This is one of the major arcanas that have the wings. So there is a divine, excuse me, angelic energy that goes along with this. It's Archangel, can be Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael. Some of you are working with the angelic realm. Okay, you are working on that realm. You're calling in your angels, your ancestors, your guides. But because you have the Death card here, I feel like something has come to an end. For some of you, it could even be that if you've been single for quite some time, you're transitioning out of singlehood into maybe some sort of commitment. For others of you, if you've been in a job for quite some time, maybe you're retiring. You have the Liberation card here. So whatever this is, there is a necessary ending. I mean, you have Scorpio with the Death. You have Scorpio with the Judgment. You're showing up, both of your major arcanas, in a big way. This is spiritual growth. Because some of you may have felt like you weren't ready, or you felt like this change would be too much for you. But you are remembering who you are. You're remembering here that you have everything you need to overcome any obstacles that show up. But this is exciting. Scorpio, can you get excited for this new path? You have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands energy showing up is all about your focus. What are you focusing on at this time? This is about you planning your future. With or without someone, okay? The Two of Wands, again, is another energy of kind of realizing that the world is your oyster, that you have what it takes to make decisions that are in your highest good. This is you taking a look at your vision. You can see that her eyes, it's almost like a hawk or an owl. There's a sense of clarity here. There's a sense of focusing and seeing what you want your new future to look like. Because I feel, Scorpio, it looks completely different than maybe it had in the past, or expectations that you've had in the past. Your future looks completely different. What does it look like? Well, we can take one sneak peek. What does this vision look like? What's this vision consist of? Now, this may move further off into maybe April, May, June, or the rest of 2024. Let's see here. What do we have? We have the Two of Swords. So there's going to be some choices for you to make in your future. But remember, because you have strength on your side, you're stronger than you think. Don't resist. Don't stay in an energy here of isolation, because you have so much in front of you. Yeah, Two of Swords can feel like we are, holding ourselves back. It can feel like we're at a crossroads. And because this is showing up with double twos, twos are about choices. Twos are about polarity. They're about partnerships. They're about diversity and even reflecting. What's in my highest good? What's worked in the past? What am I still hanging on to that could be holding me back? What wounds or what trauma? But I feel like you're working on self-love. You're working on forgiveness, right? And the message here for you from your guides is to remain flexible, because there are divine detours coming in here. This is about change. It's about adapting. And to embrace your new ideas, not the old, the new. And going with the flow, because what's the opposite of flow? Resistance. That is your advice. And I feel like it's important here that you stay honest to yourself. Don't ignore a decision that must be made that has to do with your second chance. Otherwise, it could cause you to be in this Hermit energy in reverse, which is isolation, right? It is withdrawing. It is rejection. It's loneliness. You have the knowledge here, Scorpio, to have and lead a very beautiful life. Let's take a look at your career. And some of you are already in that beautiful life. You're saying, Melissa, what are you talking about? I mean, these major arcanas, spiritual awakening, this could be something that comes in quick that may cut off. You may feel like it's cutting you off, right? Or it's separating you. Some of you could be in separation from a loved one. Maybe you are working in a different location and you want to be closer. Perhaps you want to be in a partnership that is based on truth, where it doesn't have to be, someone maybe choosing you as an option. You want to be the number one. I feel like you're at a crossroads with either a partnership in your life. I mean, I don't see the Two of Cups. This is the Two of Wands. I feel like this has to do with your career, or it has to do with where you want to move, where you want to go from here. Where do you want this new adventure to begin? And I feel like you've already invited in the energy. Now it's making the decisions in the external world. Now, when it comes to career, finances, wealth, abundance, and money, you have the ring in the very middle. There's your partnerships. There's the two energy. This is about financial commitments. There could be new commitments coming in, long-term investments, partnerships. This can also be about working together to have something more fulfilling. And maybe that's why you're separating yourself, or even liberating yourself, or cutting something off. Because you're ready for an exciting new adventure, one that fulfills you. Because a lot of times in that Eight of Cups, what once fulfilled the energy is no longer, it's become stagnant. It's no longer healthy, or there's been too much maybe control. Eight can be, Eight can be the energy of maybe even power, authority, or too much work. Thank you, Spirit. It's almost as if something was too much work here, and you've crossed the threshold of carrying the heavy burdens, and now you want to move on to something more, I'm getting like more simple, or simplifying something. But I do see here a long-term investment coming in. Now, it may not necessarily be in the month of March, although you have a lot of major arcana, so there's big milestones, there's big things happening internally, but I still feel like you have a choice to make. Now you have the Face card here. This is about your money skills, investor, right? It's about taking a risk. You may be investing, or taking a look at where you are investing your time, your energy, your money. Someone may be going on vacation here and then starting when they get back, but the vacation is actually the beginning of this new chapter. Okay, it's the beginning of ease and simplicity and more peace, more abundance. You may be guided to put yourself out there more, put your reputation to the test in a way. This is about self-made exposure, for some of you, fame, fortune. I do see here that some of you, you weren't being recognized or seen for the value that you put into something, and that's why you are leading with the heart and you're moving in a new direction. Okay, you may not have been seen for your skills or your talents. I also get an energy here of there could have been something around a work crush, or maybe love and work and interfered, or maybe you met someone at work. I mean, please take that as it resonates. Some of you may have been in a relationship, maybe with a boss, or there was just some energy between you and a boss, or you and a coworker. Now, we have the Rose here as well. This is relief, financial relief. Maybe some sort of refund here, or financial contribution. Maybe even a charitable gift or donation here. I do feel unexpected resource coming in, but this is about job security as well. I feel that if a lot of you are getting a new job, or you're moving for work, it is going to be more secure. It is going to be a very supportive role, because you wouldn't take it if it wasn't. Knight of Cups means that you're going after what your heart is desiring. You're going after something you feel passionate about. And it does have the potential to really grow into something quite beautiful. They will take care of you. This is feeling good, feeling content. Some of you are in a position where you take care of others. You could be a caregiver, or in some sort of nurturing field. Or maybe some of you had to be the caregiver for someone in your family or yourself, and maybe that pulled a little bit of your finances down. But you have this second chance here to rebuild. Okay. Some of you may have even gone through a little bit of a divorce, or you've gone through something in your personal life where you've had to rebuild from, and maybe that's affected all areas. I almost get that here for you. It's like what I see here isn't just one area of your life, Scorpio. It's many different areas combined. So it could be home, it could be work, it could be stability, it could be finances, it could be your children, it could be family dynamics, it could be health. It's almost like, you know, when they say something comes in threes, I feel that way in the past, but I also feel because you have the strength here and there's new beginnings, and this does look like you're walking towards more of what makes you happy, or voyaging, right? With that Knight of Cups, I feel like something else is going to come in threes. So you could get that offer, you could get that home, and it's almost like these things fall into place for you. It's not airy-fairy, right? I want you to believe this, because if you believe in yourself, you've been through it, right? But if you believe in yourself, anything is possible here for you. Do you believe that to be true for you? Now, when it comes to love, to romance, maybe even family dynamics or connections of the heart, some of you, there was some forgiveness and learning. I mean, that's going to be relevant for every one of you, because we're always learning on our connections with others, whether it is a romantic partnership, whether it's someone in the family, whether it's a friend, whether it's our children or parents, right? As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present. Judgment, anyone, right? Judgment is the card of karma. It's the card of letting go of regrets, not letting the past come in and interfere in a negative light, right? Or a negative way. If we can forgive the past, if we can learn from it and grow from it, it allows us to move forward and not look back, right? Not keep being pulled or sucked back into the vortex of that, you know, spiral of the past. It says you deserve love. You are lovable. And we also have here, love yourself first. Some of you may have been struggling with a codependent relationship. Some of you may have felt isolated. Someone could have worked out of the home. Maybe they were an overroad truck driver, or perhaps someone traveled a lot for business. Some of you may just be single, right? And I feel like you are focusing on yourself. You're focusing on your goals, your future, your career, your passion projects. But you may be ready to open yourself up. You could be the Knight of Cups that's saying, okay, I've been single. Now I'm getting out my bow and arrow and I'm pulling back, right? I'm pulling it back because I'm ready to move forward. And you are setting your intention. You're setting your focus. There could even be someone that you have set your eye to and you're wondering, maybe do they feel the same? I feel like they do, because you're walking towards the Nine of Cups. But you may have to leave behind something else. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe it's an old lifestyle. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Absolutely. Self-respect makes anyone more attractive. When you respect you, when you have healthy boundaries for yourself, this ups the ante, right? You deserve love. And I feel like this was a key piece of your love life before you could pull that arrow back to launch towards what you wanted, because you had to raise your vibrations. You had to come out of some sort of solitude. You had to go on this spiritual quest. You had to cut something out, or maybe it felt like something was cut out of your life and you had to heal from it. You had to mend. You had to persevere. You had to reach in and discover what you're truly made of. Whew. All right, Scorpio. But there is some sort of second chance here, whether it is with, you know, an energy of the past, up to you entirely. But for a lot of you, it's brand new. It's a new life. It's a big transformation, starting over. And they're giving me a song here, and I believe this has come up in another reading. Chris Stapleton's I'll Be Your Lucky Penny. You are my four-leaf clover, okay? And it's called Starting Over, I believe, is what the song's called. So pay attention to the penny, pay attention to the clover. Those could be two signs, or maybe it's that song you hear on the radio. I mean, I think it plays all the time. But for those of you that maybe don't listen to that genre, okay, maybe some of you even, Yeah, you could be starting completely over in some way, shape, or form. Now, from your soul's truth, what does your soul want you to know at this time, Scorpio? How can you deepen into trust? How can I deepen my trust right now? It says trust, surrender, let go of the wheel. You can trust. You can trust yourself. Trust fully in yourself so that you can deepen your trust in others. Trust creates safety. And when we feel safe, we feel unstoppable. Yeah, there is an energy here around trust that may have been broken for you in the past, or you got so disconnected from your own intuition, you couldn't tell which way was up, which way was down for some of you with that hermit. But you went on a soul quest to do some searching. Some of you may have even went on a spiritual retreat. Maybe you went to Costa Rica and did ayahuasca, right? For others of you, you went to maybe a very secluded, hidden place. Maybe you have a cabin in the woods or up in the mountains. I feel like you needed to get away, or you're about to get away. Okay, I'm getting here Fiji, Bali, Hawaii. Maybe that was a honeymoon. That's a location. Maybe that's on your bucket list, or you're traveling there. Okay, Fiji, Bali, Hawaii. We have here, are you apologizing for your truth? We've all heard people at times who apologize profusely. They apologize, say, I'm sorry, and you're wondering, what are they even sorry for? Why do they keep saying, I'm sorry? Are you one of those people? Or do you dim your light to not shine brightly because you don't want others to feel intimidated? You don't want to stand in the light here of your own truth because it may stir the pot? It says, what part of you is apologizing for your truth and why, Scorpio? Today's soul action. Be proud of your truth. Catch yourself when you want to apologize or withhold parts of it. You never know whose life you will change when you are brave enough to speak it. Be the lighthouse that shines on the courage that lives in all of us. This will give others permission to speak their truth. There is room for us all. That's your mantra. Your mantra is courage is contagious. There is room for us all. And I do get something here with being squeezed or put in a box, or feeling limited, feeling the scarcity or poverty conscious mindset, or feeling very isolated from everything else or everyone else. But there is room for us all. Don't let anyone put you in a box, right? Or dirty dancing. Don't let anyone put you in a corner. No one puts baby in the corner. Do I surround myself with people who lift me up? The people with whom we surround ourselves determine who we become. Does your tribe fill you up? Do they inspire you? Do they believe in you? Do they help you step into your greatest potential? Today's soul action. Make a desire list of the type of people with whom you wish to surround yourself and clarify. Is there anyone in your life who no longer serves you? Yeah. Maybe that's part of you separating and liberating yourself and cutting off an energy, right? And maybe that's been difficult for you to do because, yes, there are strong feelings, there are strong emotions attached to a situation. And it is important for you to love them from a distance. Can you do that if need be? If someone is encroaching into your space here, or if there's some sort of cutoff here, I also get there could have been a loss. I mean, death rarely ever represents physical death, but I do feel because you have the strength card, there's something here that, life and death, transitioning. Some of you may have even been in a life and death situation or a near-death experience. Maybe that was the catalyst or jump-started some sort of spiritual awakening. If you've lost someone, which we all will at some point or another, right? I feel like this person was either inspirational, or they are trying to help bring inspiration to you from the other side. Okay. Maybe they were one of the people that really lifted you up, or you're able to forgive now that they're gone, or something of that nature. Okay. Lastly here, Scorpio, we have the Eternal Child. This is a new deck. There's 2 new decks used here. I will post them in the description box below the video. but this is a really powerful deck by Kim Krans called the Wild Unknown Archetype. And I'm just trying to find the page here for this child energy. So the Eternal Child, I haven't read any of them yet besides the ones that have been coming out for readings, but I do recommend the energy of these decks are absolutely phenomenal. All right, we have here the Eternal Child. It's taken a moment to find it here. I also feel for some of you, there could be a message here about letting your inner child come out to play. This can also be about child at heart, and how interesting, because we actually see, the child transitioning here. So maybe some of you, this is about childhood wounding as well. And this is about the inner child. As mentioned, it's about the child of joy. When it shows up as the light aspect, it's playfulness, it's acceptance, it's magic, it's joyful. When it's dark, it can be addicted, it can be selfish, it can be, burnt out. It can even go adrift, kind of like that solitude energy within the hermit. So you can take a look and see what side you tend to land on here. I'm just going to turn this down here a little bit. And it says, celebrity culture is based heavily on this archetype, right? Isn't that interesting? As is the phrase, live hard, die young, and the series of artists and musicians who died at 27. 27 could be a significant number here as well. But yeah, you hear the phrase all the time, like only the good die young, or yeah, live hard, die young. This is also about the spirit, right? It says this archetype is so spirited that when its appetite for life isn't satiated, it seeks spirits and substances elsewhere. The eternal child struggles with addictions of all varieties. So some of you, maybe that's part of the strength. Maybe there's some sort of addiction, even though we don't quite see it, but I feel like you've either transformed because of this. Maybe this is someone else that you've dealt with. Maybe this is a family member. It could be a relationship. Maybe that's why you cut someone off. That's why you've decided to maybe separate or walk away. The eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless, and infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else at any cost. It struggles being bound to an aging body with physical limitations in a world that demands attention to detail and logistics. So that makes sense as well with the celebrity culture, right, of Botox. And again, not saying that there's things wrong with that, but we have this energy of needing to look a certain way, needing to be young forever instead of aging gracefully. Maybe that's something here that's part of your healing as well. The eternal child wants to mix all rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. It wants to return with plenty of friends to the land of the free, where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. We all want to sip from the well of eternal youth, and this makes the eternal child naturally popular, perhaps even famous. The eternal child glimmers. It reminds us of what is possible, what is magical about this precious life. So for a lot of you, you could be waking up to that. If you've put yourself in a separation and you're like, nah, Mel, I'm separating. I see it all over, right? I see it in social media. I see it in, the celebrity world. And maybe you yourself have struggled with it, but I do feel like there's some sort of wanting to rejoin, wanting to get a little bit of taste of that magic, like it says. If you have been burnt out, or if there has been addictions, or maybe you have kind of went adrift with the Voyager, I feel like you're being called to have a little more adventure in some way, shape, or form, to let that inner child come out to play. And for those of you that may have been indulging a little too much, right? Maybe there is an indulgence. This can be about turning in a direction that feels more aligned with your spirit, right? The archetype is so spirited. And I feel like there is an appetite here that we want. It's part of this human experience. But make sure that you're not filling some sort of void or some sort of need that comes from a place that's a shadow, right? It's maybe with the strength card here, a place of weakness, a place of sabotage. There we go. Place of sabotage. Because I feel like you are not sabotaging. You don't want to sabotage your opportunity for happiness, for the second chance here. Some of you may have even been, maybe you've been sober for 20 some years, right? Maybe you have been in a relationship for quite some time and you're ready to kind of spice it up a little bit. So just take a look at where you are at on this eternal child and see how you can maybe transmute some sort of energy and let go of what no longer serves you, because you're being guided at this time, Scorpio, to grow. There is an ending here. Don't resist the change. Maybe it has to do with aging. Maybe you are getting really hard on yourself for the gray hairs or the wrinkles or your changing body. And maybe that has put a damper in your self-worth or self-confidence. That's only going to resonate with a few of you. Please take it as it does. But we should honor ageism. For those of you that struggle with that, if that makes sense, there's an excellent, excellent book by Christian Northrup, one of my ultimate favorites. I believe it is something around the goddess, the wisdom of the goddess, or something around aging and the goddess. Don't quote me, but I know it's one of her books about aging, and it's phenomenal. I have all of her books, so some of you may want to look into some of her work, because she is definitely the archetype of embracing ageism, right? Embracing ageism and feeling powerful about it as well. So that is what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope it resonates. A little bit of an interesting turn here, but I love that you are opening up to a second chance here, whether that's internal, ready to flow out into your outer world. Maybe it does require you separating from some sort of belief or some sort of something in the physical, some sort of distraction or limitation, because I feel like you're being guided not to hold back. The world has a lot to offer here, and you're being guided to adventure, to explore. Don't limit yourself. Don't hold yourself back. Be flexible. Trust in divine detours. And most importantly, love and accept yourself. Be compassionate and be kind to yourself, Scorpio. That is what I have for you, beautiful souls. If this resonates, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe. Thank you, Spirit. Goddesses never age. Okay, Goddesses Never Age. I believe that is the name of the book. That's what I just heard here. Or maybe that's what we should title your video. I mean, you could be God or Goddess. It doesn't matter. Female or male. This isn't a gender read. But thank you again so much for being here, Scorpio. If you like it, please hit the thumbs up. It certainly helps the growth of the channel, and it helps those get the messages that need it most. Subscribe and hit that bell if you haven't already. Lots of love.